Steelers versus Bills and a chance to win $100,000 on Sunday night. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode. That's right, it's Sunday Night Football between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills, and over on the NBC Sports Predictor app, we can win $100,000 if we can correctly answer 7 questions. You guys know how this goes. 7 questions, $100,000. If nobody can do it, they'll give a guaranteed $5,000 prize to the group of people that can get the most points right. Last week, nobody won that jackpot. We took home 20 points on this show here. We got that Tyreek Hill number of receptions correct. We got that longest field goal right. And as most people did, we got that winner right, but everything else tripped us up. We'll look to do better this week. Super excited for this week. Obviously, guys, you guys know I'm a huge Bills fan, rocking the Josh Allen jersey today. It's Steelers, it's Bills, it's primetime. We've had several primetime games this season so far, have the Bills, and even got a couple more, but never have we had primetime with a chance to win $100,000. We got the Steelers a few weeks ago in that Ravens matchup, so we're familiar with the Steelers, and obviously being a Bills fan, we know this team inside and out. So let's just jump on into it and see who all answer these 7 questions for a chance to win $100,000. Question 1 is Ben Roethlisberger passing yards and passing touchdowns. He averages 260 yards per game and 2.2 touchdowns. In 6 of his 12 games this year, he has 2 touchdowns. In 3 games, he has 3 touchdowns. In 1 game, he got 4 touchdowns. And then 2 games this season, he got 1 passing touchdown. If we look at that Bills defense, they're allowing 250 yards per game, which is 20th in the NFL, and they're allowing 1.5 passing touchdowns per game, which is 11th best in the NFL. I'm going to go ahead and slot Ben Roethlisberger in around his average, which is 245 to 267 yards. That gives me both his average and what the Bills defense is averaging, and I'm going to go ahead and lock him in on 2 passing touchdowns. Question 2 is about Josh Allen. Yeah, Josh Allen, baby. MVP candidate, Josh Allen. What's going to be his total yards and total touchdowns? Well, he's averaging 311 passing yards, 27 rushing yards. So that's a total of 338 yards combined. He's got 26 passing touchdowns on the season, another 6 rushing touchdowns for an average of 2.7 touchdowns per game. The Steelers' defense is allowing 200 passing yards per game. That's really remarkable. What a good passing defense they've got over there. 1.4 passing touchdowns per game is what they're allowing. But while they do give up only 200 passing yards per game, they don't have Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden's out this game, so they got good safety play, but their corner play has taken a hit so far going into this game. I'm going to lock Josh Allen in on a total of 330 to 374 yards. And he's going to have 3 touchdowns in this game, and he's going to play great. Question 3 is Stefon Diggs. What's going to be his number of receptions and yards? We love this question. We've gotten this question right with several players, including Tyreek Hill last week. Look, Stefon Diggs, he's got 28% of the team targets, and the next guy has 38 less targets than Stefon Diggs. He's got 30% of the team's receptions, and the next guy is 24 receptions behind him. He catches 7.5 catches, or he has 7.5 catches per game. He gets 10 targets per game. He's catching 75% of his targets, obviously. But in the last 3 games, he's catching 93% of his targets, so a little bit more productive here in these last 3 games. Again, Joe Hayden is out of this game, so while they got good safety play, the corners have definitely taken a hit. In his last 4 games, he's got 9 receptions, 10, 7, and 10, so heating up here as lately, almost getting double digits, so 3 of those 4 games. And in both games where he had 10 catches, he only got 93 and 92 yards, though. So I'm going to go ahead and lock in on Stefon Diggs of 10-plus receptions. Going to have a monster game with Joe Hayden out. He's already having monster numbers. Add in the fact that Joe Hayden's out. Go ahead and give me 10-plus receptions and slide him into that 85 to 104 yards is what he's going to get. Question 4 is, what's the longest first quarter completion? Hate this question just because it's luck-based and not skill-based. I'll go ahead and say 20 to 24 yards. Question 5 is, what's going to be the last first half TD? They've gotten creative with this question. We've been successful when it's been the first TD score, but when it's, the last TD of the first half, as it is here, it's a little bit more luck involved. Benny Snell, though, for the Steelers, he's got 3 TDs. Chase Claypool's got 10 TDs, 8 of those through the air. Juju Smith has 6 touchdowns. Any other player here for the Steelers, you're getting 18 touchdowns from 4 different players. For the Buffalo Bills, Zach Moss, he's got 3 touchdowns. 3 of those have come on the ground. Stefon Diggs also has 4 touchdowns on the year. Cole Beasley has 4 touchdowns on the year. And for the Bills, any other player, you're getting 26 touchdowns from 10 different players. A couple notes here. If we start with the Steelers, the notes, any other player there from 18 touchdowns from 4 players, that's the best we've ever seen. We've seen 18 touchdowns, but to have 18 touchdowns from 4 players, that is definitely the best we've seen. Normally it's a lot more players involved. 4 is really remarkable. Any other player, you're basically getting Eric Ebron, Deontay Johnson, and James Washington, and James Conner. From everything I see, James Conner is back in this game. These questions came out before James Conner was ruled he was going to play in this game, so that's why they give you Benny Snell. If we knew James Conner was going to play, it would be James Conner they would be asking you about, not Benny Snell. So that's pretty big right there. So that any other player, you're getting that legit tight end, 2 really good wide receivers, and their number 1 back. For the Buffalo Bills, it's hard to predict Zach Moss. Zach Moss is more of the red zone running back that they go to, but he was in the doghouse last week. You guys saw it against the 49ers. When he fumbled the ball, he only got 2 snaps the rest of the carry. Sean McDermott wanted to send him a message. How does that carry over into this game? And that's what's really hard to predict. And also, in not picking Zach Moss, you get Devin Singletary and you get Josh Allen, who are fully capable of running that ball in. So it's definitely going to stay clear of Zach Moss here on this. And then Stefon Diggs, I'm going to stay clear of Stefon Diggs. I don't think he's going to be the one to do it. He doesn't get a touchdown that often, only 4 times on the season, so it's hard to predict when his next touchdown is going to come. Go ahead and give me Bills, any other player. Like I mentioned, you're getting 26 touchdowns from 10 different players. The Bills show, whether it's Isaiah McKenzie, Dawson Knox, Lee Smith, the touchdowns can come from anybody, so they're hard to predict. You get a wide number of touchdowns from a wide range of players. I'm going to go ahead and say Bills, any other player. On my wife's entry, where you guys know we submit the same picks except for one difference, on her entry, I'm going to lock in on Steelers, any other player. I like getting the number 1 back in James Conner. I like getting Eric Ebron, and I like getting their number 1 wide receiver in terms of targets, Deontay Johnson. All right, question 6 is third quarter, most total yards in the third quarter. This is another question we've been successful at in the past. I use team targets. That's how I use my gauge to answer this question. And because of that, I think that's why we've been successful in this, because it's hard to predict over the course of the game when somebody's going to get their yards. But what we can predict is who's going to get targets. Where is the quarterback looking to go with that ball? So I love using targets for this one. So if you look at the breakdown, Chase Claypool is getting 16% of his team targets. Juju Smith gets 19% of his team targets, and Deontay Johnson leads the Steelers, as we know, with 22% of the team targets. Stefon Diggs gets 28% of the team targets. We know from earlier answering the question about Stefon Diggs, he leads the team's way, so no reason to break down any other players. I use team targets. Stefon Diggs has the most on the Bills and the most combined for both of these 2 teams, so go ahead and give me Stefon Diggs for the most third quarter total yards. And question 7 is who's the winner and what's always the win margin? Obviously, you guys know I'm going to go on Homer-ish. I'm going to ride my Bills in primetime, baby, and just ride this out to a great night of football, and I'm going to cash $100,000. What's going to be that win margin, though? Give me Bills win by 7. You got a Steelers team that's vulnerable. Didn't look all that great against the Ravens a couple of weeks back. Obviously got tripped up by Washington. You're seeing a team that isn't quite as they were in the top-notch shop earlier on the season. You got a Bills team who I think they can match them defensively. The Bills' strength is that secondary with Tre'Davious White, Levi Wallace, and then their stars, safety tandem there, Micah Hyde and Joyer Poyer. So they should be able to limit that passing attack there by the Steelers. And I think offensively, the Bills are just really hard to stop. That offense is absolutely explosive. They'll be top in the league, near the top of the league when it's all said and done. They're already near the top. They're going to be gunning for that top spot. It's a really tough offense. So go ahead and give me Bills win the game by 7. Is that truly a homer pick? I don't know. I actually really, really love the Bills this week. I've got real money on the Bills that they'll win this game and cover that spread. So you guys know that you guys can always watch my daily sports betting show where I give out real sports bets if you're interested in that information. Otherwise, guys, go ahead, submit your picks, like this video, and let's enjoy Sunday Night Football between the Steelers and Bills for a chance to win $100,000 on the NBC Sports Predictor app. You guys enjoyed the game, and I'll see you guys on the next contest. I'm Jason Mattis. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.